Imagine being handed $5 million in equity to work with the company. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what happened this year to me in my portfolio. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why companies give me equity to work with them, what it means for my business, and how you can position yourself to get similar opportunities in your business. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jordan Ross. I run a figure agency. We're a growth consultancy and portfolio that has worked with over 1,000 agencies, and we do over 8 figures in annual revenue across our portfolio. In order to get to this point where I was able to actually broker deals for equity with businesses, I had to have success. I had to have so much social proof and trust of these businesses. Now, my portfolio strategy is to sign anywhere between 150 and 250 clients through my consulting company every year. What happens first and foremost is we sign these clients, we do really good work with them, so we build a lot of trust, and then we pitch them on this portfolio model. But the preceding things that actually lead to them actually working with us compound a lot of trust. We've worked with over 1,000 agencies. We've helped our clients add over $300 million in annual recurring revenue. I myself have managed over 2,500 employees. All my executives on my team are 8-figure executives, meaning they run companies at a minimum of $10 million a year, all the way up to $100 million a year. Now, compounded with these factors, when they come into ADEF, they already trust us to work with us in a consulting forum. But then we drive such good value with them in the consulting partnership that on the back end, when we actually position a pitch to work with them on an equity basis, they're open to it. If you're someone that wants to be able to do the same thing, the key that you need to look for is businesses that you service that have complementary skill sets to you. Now, think of it like this. If someone is hiring you or your business for a service, they're hiring you because they don't have it. When they hire you on a retainer basis, we'll call it $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000 a month, they're getting a very limited scope. They pay you money, and in return, they get a service. The value proposition of equity is that a company will get so much more. If I give you a portion of my company, I'm not giving you money for service. I'm giving money and equity for a significant more amount of time, energy, and commitment from you to grow this business. And in return, it should lead to disproportionate gains. That's the whole value proposition of equity partnership. When we actually get into a really good relationship with a client, we're looking for 3 specific things that tells us a client is worth it for us to actually pitch. Because I will let you know, there have been 2 clients that have given me equity, and within 6 months, we realized it wasn't a good deal and we had to give the equity back. So first and foremost, you need to find the 3 common things that will make a good equity partner. The first one is growth-minded. This person has to be a lifelong learner, they have to be passionate, and they have to see the potential of growth for the long term. But they usually have to be, number 2, a solo founder. They have to own 100% of the equity, and usually what that comes with is a significant amount of burden and a lot of things that fall on their shoulders. And number 3 is positioning. They have to run a really good business. Now, for the positioning for ADEF, we're looking for companies that either run a blue ocean, which means they sell a service into a hyper-specific niche, or they sell a service that doesn't really have a lot of competitors. Or within that positioning, they just have to be exceptional at sales. They have to run a business that it might have a lot of competition, but they're so good at sales, it doesn't matter. They constantly have sales coming in the door, and they need our assistance. Now, when you're thinking about this, or you're positioning this with your clients, you're looking for those clients that meet those criteria. They're a really good partner, they own 100%, and they're really good at the one thing that they do, and they need your help for more. So when we go in to the negotiation process, the first step that I take is just a casual conversation. I get into a conversation, I say, hey client, we've been loving working with you, and in the first 3 to 6 months, we've helped you create X, Y, and Z results. Is this something that you really enjoyed? So I get them to verbally tell me that they're enjoying this, and they're bought in so far. And once I get that buy-in, I say, I want to let you know, we do have an exclusive collaboration that we do with very few clients, that when we see the potential for massive growth, we do go deeper on relationship, leading to a significant amount more in annual revenues, annual profit, and for the founders, a lot more leverage of their time. Is this something you'd like to explore with us? And they usually say yes. They always say yes. And then from there, I float the idea of partnership. And that's when I say, from a high level, we partner with a few clients where we will come in as equity partners on a minority level to offload specific segments of their business to us. And the value prop to the client is you're not giving equity to just one person. It's not giving equity to Jordan Ross. You're actually getting an entire team that will support you for operations, for strategy. And that's when I start to go and I start to lay down the pillars. So once I get this buy-in, I get them to come to a formal proposal call. So once I actually get to the actual proposal call, I'm coming prepared with a formal deck on where the client is going to go on a trajectory if they stay with us on just retainer versus where I see them being able to go if they partner with us on an equity level. And usually what I'll show is, here is what you're currently getting with us on retainer. retainer. Now with ADEF, you're getting weekly calls, quarterly strategy, and Slack access, right? There's also community. But when you partner with us, I'm throwing so much more value in there. We are starting to do some done for you work where we're actually bringing in fractional operators to work in your business. We're doing monthly business reviews, quarterly business reviews, and annual business reviews where either myself, Matt, or like my trusted 8-figure executive is going to actually put more time in for your strategy. And a lot of people don't think that's a big deal. We actually emphasize this key point. Your strategy as a founder is literally the number one correlation to success. Strategy is what you identify as where you need to put your time into and what you put your time into. And if you put your time into the correct things, it disproportionately grows your business. We bring in our forensic accountant CPA partner with Ben with 8-figure finance, who will run the books, but then also run monthly financial analysis and month-over-month financial review. We have an annual mastermind that is exclusive and only allowed for our portfolio. That type of event would probably cost 20 to 30,000. That's also included every year. We have sales oversight, where at a certain point when relevant, we're going to include one of our fractional sales executives and we're going to help build the sales team and we're going to train the sales team. You could pay for sales consulting, but this is a lot more comprehensive. It's very end to end. We offer promotions and advertisements to our clients. If it's relevant, we will plug their service into our consulting team, where our consultants will recommend this portfolio client service to our clients if it's something that is valuable. We include software maintenance. Now we have a team, 8-figure OS, that performs monthly software maintenance, where if you need to update anything from an integration to software, you could pay a service there, but that's actually included in this partnership. And there's more. But the whole point of it is we are putting our time, energy, attention. I am thinking about your business. I only do that for very few businesses. So if you're going to get my brain more committed to your business, you're going to grow naturally. So these are the key components. And once you make that proposal, then you're just going to a normal sales pitch. That's it. You let your client go and you come back and now you're in negotiation. They're going to say they want this form of equity, they want this retainer, they want this. And what we typically do is we establish tiers where we will take a percentage of profit and we will also have a minimum like a partner distribution. So let's just say that minimum distribution might be $5,000 a month as an example. And we will go back and forth on what that minimum distribution is. What do we get as ADEF if we refer business? What do we get from equity? What do we get in event of a sale? What are our expectations? And that part is actually extremely normal when it comes to sales. And once we come to an agreement, we then bring the lawyers in. And the lawyers kind of always muck up, but they'll come in, they'll require a little bit more negotiations, and then we just really align on things. The key here, and the reason why this actually works, is because I have such a crazy track record of success. I can point to my ability to deploy my team and deploy my resources and employ my network to grow companies. And if you work in one niche, this always works. So the big key thing here is when you're actually into negotiation, there's really two styles of equity that you can get. You can either get sweat equity, where it's very merit based. And for this one, let's just say you are pitching a company that's doing $1 million in revenue. You can say, I'm going to do all of these things for free, and I will only earn more income on a merit basis. So if I grow your company from $1 million to 1.5 to 2 million, I vest a certain percent of equity every milestone I hit. So let's just say your client's paying you a retainer of $2,500 a month or $5,000 a month. You could say, I'm going to keep this retainer. I'm going to do all of this work for free. And if we grow your company from A to B to C, I grow it from $1 million to 2 million to 3 million. At each cliff, at each new level of growth I hit for your company, you are going to vest me a certain percentage of equity. That way, for them, the client doesn't actually have to put any money up. They don't have to risk anything, and they aren't just giving away equity. They're only giving away equity if you achieve certain goals. And that's where you could identify, well, what's it worth if I double your company? What percentage of equity in the company is it worth? What if I take you from $1 million to 5 million? And this is all part of your negotiation. So this is merit-based vesting. This could either be on you're getting equity on the entirety of the company, and you also have phantom equity, where it says we have one deal where a company was doing $1 million when we started with them. We said your company is doing $1 million and your current valuation is this. So this is where you might have to bring in a valuation partner. And we established a present valuation. Let's just say the company was worth 2 million at sale. We are going to get 15% of your business, but that 15% is only on the value we create. Everything you've already created for yourself is the value that you have. So if we sell this business for 10 million one day, the first 2 million goes to you, and then the equity sharing is on the back end. So once we exceed a $2 million sale, so let's just say we sell for 10 million, that 8 million, you're going to take your percent and we're going to take our percent. And also, this could once again be merit-based. If we don't do it, we don't get anything. So it's very appealing for a lot of people who are going into partnership. Most partnerships fail. So if you make it merit-based, it's super appealing. It's a big negotiation factor. And then the second way that you could actually do this is just buying the equity. So what I recommend doing is same exact thing. We are going to go through a trial period about 3 to 6 months where we are going to act as if we're your partner. And if we earn your trust and if you like working with us, we will then have the right to buy this equity. Now, if that doesn't work, if we do all this work and you don't want us to buy the equity at that point, we will get X amount of dollars. So like, let's say you're doing a 5K retainer. Maybe you say every month it's going to be a 10K retainer, but that extra 5K that you're doing of work for 3 or 6 months will then get pushed down the road and you could figure out a payment period. These are the two negotiation tools when it comes to merit-based equity or actual equity that you're going to pay for, but it gives you some leverage to negotiate without someone getting totally scared. This makes sure that you have trust. When you have trust in negotiation, you have the ability to actually negotiate. The key thing for you to think about is if this is something you want to be able to do, you must have a really clearly defined process. If you don't have a specific scientific approach to how you do things, you need to start making that. And this is something that if you go build a brand, you are in one niche and you have a lot of success stories, you could then eventually start to position for equity. This is something that I'm actually asking a person to come into ADEF and do this for me because I believe in it so much. So your actions from this video are number one, you must have a super defined process. You must have a scientific approach. So every time you take a client from A to B, B to C, 1 million to 5 million, 5 million to 10 million, every time that something comes up, you need to have a nuanced approach. My biggest recommendation would be to start considering how to leverage AI. Every if-then scenario, if this, then that happens, comes up, you want to start to document that into some form of an AI. Call it ChatGPT. That can start to create a massive training library that you can then train your talent to be able to execute for you. But then also when it comes to negotiations, you have such a scientific model of scaling that it gives you so much more leverage in negotiations. You have a defined system. When it comes to negotiating, if you get into your first deal and you're actually unsure how to do this, you want to do this, you know you can do this, but you need some help, let me know. We have a free school community where we could help you learn how to do these things. And we also will consult you on how to do this if that's something you really want. That's not something that's common, but you might be watching this and thinking, my first deal is scary, I want some help. And that's exactly what I did. I brought an expert in, I gave him 50% of the deal just to teach me how to do this. Now that you know why people give me millions of dollars in equity to work with them, you're probably wondering what's next. Well, first and foremost, make sure you click that subscribe button below and like this video if this added value. If you're serious about building your wealth and scaling your impact, you'll want to check out this video where I break down how to build a $10 million holding co in 3 simple steps. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.